Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. As always, we'll have a look at some of the games that crept out without being in a previous video of this kind before looking at the games coming out between the dates of the 24th of July up until the 30th. I would say this week has some long anticipated games and some games from very well loved series, so all in all it could be a one that has a few games to interest people. But what are those games? Well, let's find out. First for the games that are already out then, and we have Pokemon Unite. This is a free-to-play online team battle game including 5-on-5 strategic combat. You'll need to work as a team to score the most points within the allocated time. It mentions here in the blurb that voice chat will be included and that crossplay will be available with the iOS and Android versions that are coming later in the year. The blurb also makes a big deal of mentioning the gear that you can deck your Pokemon out in, and I assume that's where the optional pay element of the game will come in, although that is just an assumption and I could be completely wrong there. It's available to download now if you are interested. The other one that's already out then is Timothy vs the Aliens. This describes itself as an open world game that combines platforming, puzzles and action. It says that you'll be ambushed by aliens, although you'll be well equipped to fight against them, and can increase your inventory by buying items from the gun runner. It's been out on PS4 and Xbox One for a few years, and whilst the PS4 version only has 3 reviews, so not enough for a Metacritic score, those 3 reviews equated to a 68, a 45 and a 25, which does sound pretty ominous to be fair. On to this week's games then, and the first one is one that many people will be looking forward to, I'm sure. I know it's a very well loved series, and this is the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. This brings together the 2 games in the great Ace Attorney series, Ace Attorney Adventures and Ace Attorney Resolve, which I believe are prequels to the main series. Each title contains 5 episodes, and you'll be speaking to witnesses, examining evidence and clues, and attempting to deduce the intent behind each crime in late 19th century Japan and in London. The games originally came out for the 3DS in 2015 and 2017 respectively, and never made it outside of Japan, so I can see there being many people excited to experience them for the first time. They release on the 27th and will cost £32.99 or your regional equivalent. Also coming this week is Neo: The World Ends With You. This is an ARPG from Square Enix and will tell a new story in the World Ends With You universe, with the first one releasing for the DS back in 2007. It sees a new cast of characters play in the Reaper's game and will feature full 3D graphics. A lot of the original development team from that first game have returned in some capacity. I remember buying the first game for the DS a long time ago now, and I loved the urban setting, something not usually seen in ARPGs back then, and whilst I also really liked the innovative combat system, which saw you using both screens to attack, my lack of coordination meant I was absolutely terrible at it. I was quite shocked at myself for being so bad at this game. I haven't played the Switch port, so I don't know how it worked with that having just one screen obviously, but I did hear it was based on a mobile version and not that DS original. This new game will sell for £49.99 or your regional equivalent, and also has a demo available on the eShop, which is good to see. Clone in the Danger Zone arrives this week, and according to the eShop blurb, is a robot voxel slice 'em up. You are a robot gladiator and must survive the trials of the arena, where any part of your body can be sliced off. There are a number of game modes, including the single player story, challenges and endless modes, as well as online multiplayer modes such as Last Spot Standing, private duels or even online co-op. It goes on to say that the combat is intense and there is an emphasis on movement, timing and precision. Any blow could instantly kill or dismember you. It's going to sell for £19.99, although it is another one that has a demo, so you can have a look and try before you buy.
I'm going to help you escape. Survive, and I will get you out of here. Ready? Here we go.
Also this week then is Samurai Warriors 5 from Koei Tecmo. This was announced at a Nintendo Direct, I think it was back in February time, and is also releasing on the PS4, the Xbox One and on Steam. This new installment focuses specifically on Nobunaga Oda and Mitsuhide Akechi, which would date it in the Sengoku period in around the latter half of the 16th century. I've played a few of the Warriors games over the years, be it from the Samurai or Dynasty Warriors series or some of the spin-offs, and I've always enjoyed the Samurai games in particular due to that Warring States setting. This one has a different art style to its predecessors and is actually a reboot, I believe. It includes 27 Samurai Warriors, although most of the comments I read after the announcement of the game after that Direct seemed to be from people who were disappointed that Nobunaga doesn't have a moustache anymore. If you are a fan of Musou games, this one is out on the 27th for a fairly standard but high Koei Tecmo price of £54.99. Geez, look at that Australian price too. Although thankfully there is a demo for you to try if you want.
いずれは天下の覇者にもなろう。長良川の戦いで斎藤道三が討たれ、明智城も焼き払われる。
Also on the 27th then you have Dariusburst, another Chronicle EX+. Now I thought this had come out in North America at least a while ago, but apparently it hasn't. Right, I'm going to try and get this right. Dariusburst came out for the PSP in 2009 and was then released in arcades in 2010 as Dariusburst Another Chronicle. A revised version called Another Chronicle EX released after this, and this EX Plus version is a combination of all of that content with an extra event mode added. There really are some great shoot 'em ups on the Switch, including a couple of Darius collections already, and this one will set you back £34.99 or your regional equivalent if you are interested. One that I'd actually forgot was coming out, which is odd because I loved the first game in this series. This is Blaster Master 03. This concludes the Zero trilogy and sees you once again taking on the role of Jason as you travel back to the planet Sophia on a rescue mission to save series heroine Eve. I always enjoyed the original NES Blaster Master and loved the first game in this series. It was actually one of the first 2 digital games I bought for my Switch alongside Oceanhorn back in 2017. If this is anything like that first game, there will be a mixture of 2D action platforming and top-down areas, usually culminating in a boss battle, although the blurb does mention they have revamped the gun level system, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. It's going to sell for £13.49, although there is 20% off that price up until launch, and whilst I'll definitely grab this one at some point, I should probably get around to playing the second one first.
Boot up the VRV system and set off to find your missing partner, Eve. The fates of Jason, Eve, and the planet Sophia all revolve around the mutant scourge, but
on the 29th you have Eldest Souls, which will sell for £16.99. This tells the story of man rebelling against the old gods after centuries of servitude, and the blurb promises fast-paced and challenging Souls-like combat. It goes on to say that you will explore maze-like levels, talk to NPCs, complete quests and mysteries before taking on the gods in epic battles. The screenshots show a quite beautiful and highly detailed pixel art style, but the trailer itself, as you can see now, opts to tell the game's story via animation with no gameplay shown. I always find it quite disappointing when they choose to do that. Irrespective of this though, I must say the game itself does look very interesting. And finally then we have Horror Tales The Wine, which is a first-person survival horror game set on a Mediterranean archipelago. The blurb says you are being relentlessly hunted by your nemesis and you'll be solving environmental riddles, physics-based puzzles and other challenges to try and escape. The trailer does look pretty intriguing. It has that amnesia or layers of fear style to it, set against a very attractive backdrop but with sinister locations to navigate your way around too. We'll see if it lives up to that promise shown in the trailer when it releases on the 30th. So there you have it then, there's another week of Nintendo Switch releases coming up. I would say pound for pound that's probably the strongest week we've had in a little while. Please do let me know though below if any of these games do interest you. I just want to say thank you to Mark, who has been recording the audio for these for the last couple of weeks whilst I wrote the scripts, whilst I had some bits going on. It was always a joy to hear him struggle with Japanese pronunciations, and I would have loved to have heard him have a go at the Samurai Warriors 5 segment this week. A quick thank you to our Patreons, as always, for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, stay safe of course, and until next time, happy gaming.